Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking your valuable time to join us today. My name is Giles Brown. I'm the Senior Marketer for the SmartOffice team, and I'll be the moderator for today's webinar. Joining me today are my colleagues Wael Boutros and Robert Powell. They'll be doing most of the heavy lifting on today's presentation. But first, I'd like to share a few housekeeping details with you. We appreciate your time, so we're going to be keeping our webinar to an hour. Today's webinar, since there are a large number of you, will have you muted to ensure the best audio quality for everyone. But you can communicate with us via the dashboard. If you have questions for Wael or Robert for the Q&A segment, you can just type your questions directly into the QA panel. We hope to get to everyone's questions today during the webinar, but if we don't get to your question, we'll get back to you the next day or so via email or phone. We will be recording today's session, and you will be receiving a link to the recording. Now, it's my great pleasure to introduce you to today's presenters. Wael Boutros is a National Sales Manager for SmartOffice, and Robert Powell is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for LaserApp software. So without further ado, I'm going to turn the screen over to Wael. Wael, take it away.
Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining the webinar today. On today's webinar, we're going to be focusing on SmartOffice and LaserApp integration. So my name is Wael Boutros. I'm one of the account managers here at SmartOffice. Before we begin, just wanted to kind of give you a quick background on our company. Ebix is the mother company of SmartOffice. We've been in business for over 40 years with 35 offices in 8 different countries. We're headquartered here in Atlanta, Georgia, and our SmartOffice division is right here in Pasadena, California. So today's focus is going to be on SmartOffice, but you guys might have used some of our products before, such as WinFlex, Battle Sales Suite, AnnuityNet, and LifeSpeed. Now, what's the point of having a CRM in your day-to-day life as an advisor? Basically, we are trying to unite everything and create a central hub for you to use whenever you are and wherever you are. So basically, if you're on your tablet, your computer, or your smartphone, you'll be able to connect to your system. We're also able to integrate such tools as the Microsoft Exchange servers, our Outlook, and Word and Excel. We're also bringing in nightly data feeds from different data aggregators. So basically, we're bringing everything into one unit and having that fed into SmartOffice so you can view all the details in one place. Now, on today's webinar, we're going to see 3 different ways of accessing SmartOffice and accessing LaserApp. First one is going to be from Outlook, the Outlook plugin. Second one is going to be from our SmartOffice Pro. And finally, we're going to touch base on our SmartOffice Anywhere, which is going to be used either on the tablet or smartphone. Now, in order to get those integrations working, you could either be, like I said, on your Outlook plugin, on your SmartOffice Pro, or tablet or smartphone, and you'll be able to push that data over to LaserApp. Now, let's get started here with the demo. Just wanted to touch base on the SmartOffice plugin that we have with Outlook. And basically what that gives you is that little plugin here at the bottom will give you access to your data. So if you see here at the top, we have the client that sent me the email. That's Joe Ackerman. As long as that email is connected to SmartOffice, we'll be able to pull out his information as far as he's a client, how many kids he has, if I have any notes with him, so I can go and dig through all the notes that I've done in the past. I can add new notes directly on the fly from here. I can send them as an alert if I need to other users. Any open activities, documents, I can see all his policies directly from the plugin. Opportunities, which is our workflow system. You can go in and see the different stages he's in. Investment accounts and positions, will have access to them directly in here. And key relations. So we can see all his business partners, his family members, and then add new ones on the fly. Now, we've taken this a step further, and then we're going to be able to go in through the Exchange server and connect your emails, calendar activities, and contacts between SmartOffice, Outlook, and your mobile devices. So what that does is if you have an Exchange server, we'll be able to go in and automatically sync your emails on the back end. So for example, if you have a email that gets sent to your Outlook, it'll get posted to SmartOffice too. If you have a calendar activity that gets created on SmartOffice, it'll bounce back to Outlook and your phone, and vice versa. Now, what's nice about the plugin is you'll also have access to our integration. So if you click on integration list, we'll be able to open Laser App or Laser App Anywhere directly from the plugin. So Laser App, this is the desktop version, and then the Laser App Anywhere is the mobile version of their system. Now let's jump into SmartOffice Pro. So within SmartOffice Pro, we'll be able to, get access to all of your data. This is your, backbone where you can get access to all the heavy lifting inside of SmartOffice. So we're right here in Joe Ackerman's profile. We'll be able to see all his data right here. Now, for example, let's say I don't want to see all the information that I have here. You can go in and customize that field. I, for example, made sure to have everything in one area. You can go and customize it the way you like to, and then have it toggle between the different templates that you've created. So let's go and see all these different portlets that I added. Basically, my personal information here for my clients. Joe Ackerman, he's a client of mine. He's an A client. I can pull up the ABC, Gold, Platinum, Silver. If I don't like any of those choices, I can go in and create new fields if I need to. So basically, any of the dotted lines that you see here, you can customize that field. Referrals, we do a great job at tracking referrals, so you can get a referral tree of all the clients that Joe has brought over to us. And his date of birth, his social is always hidden. You click on it, it unhides it. And then at the bottom here, we have a quick family history on our client. Below that, there's some KYC, so know your client, maybe some personal information that we have that is already embedded in the system that we think that you guys need to have in the system. But for any reason, if there's anything that is missing in this section that you guys want to track and want to be able to kind of run reports on, we'll be able to create custom fields. So what I've done here on the right side is I've created custom fields just kind of as an example, and then it'll give you the choice to have numerals, date fields, drop-down menus, and checkboxes. What's nice about the custom reports is you can go in and run reports, a full reporting on these. So if you want to run a golf tournament, let's say in the next 6 months and a specific zip code, you'll be able to pull it out from here. Above that, we have our emails. So as long as that email is residing in this section, could be personal, business email, we'll be able to pull it out on the plugin from Outlook, or even going through the Exchange server, we'll be able to connect that to the proper client. Addresses and phone numbers, there's plenty enough space for that. And at the bottom, this is where the most important thing comes in handy, is my SmartPad note. This is basically my notepad. It basically gives me everything on my client. So any notes, emails, correspondence, activities that are open or closed will show right here. It's always date stamp, time stamp, and user stamp. I can go in and filter through the different type of categories if I need to, but we'll be able to see everything here. So even if you're not in the office, someone answered the phone, it was Joe Ackerman, they put in a note, message, we'll be able to track it here anywhere, either on our smartphone, our tablet, or any other devices where we can access SmartOffice. Now on the letters and documents section here, I just wanted to touch base to kind of show everyone where you can scan, upload your documents, put them in this area, so any of the forms that you've had from Laser App that pre-filled it, will be able to go in and put them into the document area if we need to. This is basically the main area where we have the document storage. If not, you can go in and put it in a specific policy number. You can put it in a specific account number. It's totally up to you. So let's say here we want to go in and put it for that first policy number, so I want to attach a document that corresponds to that specific policy. I can go in here, hit the plus sign, drag drop the document, and it'll upload it to that specific policy where, again, I can go and pull it up anywhere I am. So we'll go back here to the list of policies that we have. We can go in and choose anyone just to kind of give you an example of all the fields that we can track inside of SmartOffice. So what makes our system great is we are capable of pretty much handling any type of insurance policy. Every different field or every different policy will have different items in there, and then we'll be able to go in and then get them inside of SmartOffice. So just to give you an example, there's three ways of uploading your policies inside of SmartOffice. First one is going the manual way, putting in your policy number, the premiums, beneficiary, any other information that you may have. Now, as far as carriers and products, we come preloaded with close to 100 different carriers, 500 different products that are preset in the system. If there's anything that's missing, we can always go in and manually add it. It'll remain in the system, but this is updated on a daily basis for you guys. Now, the second way is you can go in and use our import wizard tool. So under the utility, we'll be able to use the data import wizard to bring in policies by carriers. This is a way of getting in multiple policies at the same time, and then you need to map them in the right areas and then bring them into SmartOffice. Third way is going through a BGA, a broker general agency that uses SmartOffice. If they have SmartOffice, if they're using SmartOffice, and they'll basically turn on the insurance sync for you guys, and we'll be able to have all the pending cases and in-force policy downloaded right away inside of your system. One last feature that we have is there's an integration that we have with a company called Enforce Pro. They basically can aggregate that data inside of our system. Now, if we move over to the investment side, on the investment accounts and investment positions here, we'll have a nightly download from the data aggregator. So you could be either using Allbridge, DST, Investigo, any data aggregator. We have a big list of integrations that of the companies that we work with. You'll be able to get that fed into your system, so it's on a nightly basis. So from the previous closing day, we'll have all that information downloaded into your SmartOffice. Now, let me touch base here on the dashboards. So since we were in a client record, and we basically saw everything that the profile can do on the client record, we'll now be able to go see the different reports that we can create. So there's different tabs here that I've created on my dashboard, and then again, each one of them is specific to a certain thing that I asked SmartOffice to do for me. So for example, here on my client list, I want to pull up all the clients' birthdays that are coming up in the next 15 days. Below that, I want to touch base on my A clients. So I want to make sure I don't pass the 60 days without reaching out to them. And below, I have my calendar activity. Now, maybe some other people want to track, more details. So I want to see my policies coming up for renewals. Anything that falls within the 90-day renewal period, we'll be able to pull it out right here. What's nice about those reports that we create inside of SmartOffice is you create them once, and then they go in and update on the back end for you. So there's no need to go and refresh them. Tomorrow, I may have another 2-3 policies that get added to that area. Now you can go in and have multiple, different reports that get created. So for example, clients that have investments but no life insurance, maybe clients that are coming up to 70 and a half. So all these reports, again, work on the back end. What's nice about them is you can actually automate this and make them be emailed to you, let's say, every Monday. So if we click on the edit box here, we'll go in and then have that report automatically emailed to us. So we put in the email address and then which day what type of report we want to do it in, and then we'll be able to go in and receive that. Whether we're in the office or not, you'll get it by email. One last tab here I want to kind of touch base on before we move forward is my opportunities in sales. So as we saw in the plugin, we'll be able to look at the different workflows and opportunities we have with our clients. So I can kind of create a workflow of my sales pipeline. So I want to track all my business for the year. I want to have it in different categories. So for example, if I would take my 401ks, I can see the 6 stages that I have created here. Each stage will have something different that will happen. So basically in my first stage is my prospects. I have all my the prospect names. I have the primary advisor, which is myself. How many days has it been since I last contacted them, if I made any appointments, if I sent any letters, made any calls, how much time I'm spending on the phone with them, and what revenue I think I can get out of those prospects. Now, those columns are fully customizable. You can change them. You can add whatever you want in here. This is what I like to view in my workflow area. Now, in order to edit that, very simple. You go to the setup and then opportunity setup. Workflows can be created as you can create as many as you want. You can use as many as you want for each client of yours, and then go in and use them every time, and then set your sales pipeline if you want to, like I did here for myself. Now, on the sales and marketing. So if you guys are doing any mass correspondence, want to send out any emails, print out any letters, we'll be able to use our system for that. It's a free tool that's available in there. We do integrate with some other great marketing tool companies, but we have this in our system. So what we use is we can either tag all clients, or we can use the sets of clients that we have in SmartOffice that we've created ourselves. So for example, I want to take my prospects that are 50 and over. From there, I can choose to send them an email, print letters, create labels, envelopes. Let's say I just want to send an email. Hit next. We can choose from the library of different templates that come preloaded in SmartOffice. They're generic. You can go in and use them. You can edit them, or you can create your own. From Word, within Word, you can create your own templates, put in any merge codes if you need to, and then save them inside of the template area. From there, you can use them. So let's say I'll take this one. Hit next. The system is going to ask me which email it's going through, and then I'll hit next again, and then the system will go in and start sending the emails, one after the other. Now, you're all asking, where is that data going to? From Joe Ackerman, how am I able to push it to Laser App? So if we go back to his profile here, we'll be able to have the integrations on top. So basically, in order to access them, you hit the menu button under Integrations. We'll have both of them here. So we have the Laser App Anywhere and then the Laser App, the desktop version. We can drag and drop them, put them on the top side here. But basically, it's a single sign-on. You click on it, and then it takes you automatically. So the first time you would have to log into the system, but then after that it takes you directly to the client record. So we have Joe Ackerman here. What's nice about the integration is if there's any data that is not, or the client does not exist in Laser App, we'll actually create that profile for you. So if we go into his contact information, all that data is the same data that we have inside of SmartOffice. Same goes on the desktop version. If you click on it, that'll open the desktop version, and then you'll be able to go in and use it. Now, let's jump into a calendar of SmartOffice. Now, what's nice about the calendar of SmartOffice is you'll be able to customize it the way you like to. So if you're multiple users in the office, you want to check different calendars. So right now I was logged in under Phil Anderson. Go back to my calendar. I can view my calendar here, what I have for the day, for the week. Now, what's nice about it is it's always color coordinated for different activity types. If you have a staff member that wants to see everyone's calendar, you can go in and add everyone's calendar in one area, and then the color coordination will go for different people. So Phil will be yellow, I'll be blue, and then someone else will be in red, however you want to put them. Now, on the area right here, those are all appointments that are time sensitive. So basically, if I put in a new activity, I can just click here, add the contact name, and then let's say it's for Anthony. Choose the date and time if we need to. Let's say we'll put it here for Friday at 12:30. If there's a location that we need to drive to, we can set it up here into the location, put in a description, and then hit save and close. Now, if you're going through an Exchange server, like I told you before, we'll be able to sync that appointment back to your phone, back to Outlook, and so all that calendar will be the same on any device that you're using if you're connected through Exchange. Now, if you want to mark anything done, we just hover above it. So let's say we got this call done. We hit the mark done. System's going to ask me here, what happened? Did I get in contact with him? Did not get in contact with Randall? There's different activities that, or outcomes that can happen. So let's say mark done, no future activities. If he is part of my opportunity, my workflows, I can manually go and change him from different stages. I can go in and add any potential revenue, estimated closing time, or how much time I'm spending on the phone with him. Now I can add any notes, again, one of my gibberish here, and send this as an alert to another user in Office. So by clicking this, this will give us a list of all the different users we have in Office. Let's say I want to send this to Tim. And then this, basically this call is ended right now, and then a notification will be sent to Tim with the description of the outcome that happened. Now on the right side, you will see the task area. So anything that is not time sensitive will go in this section right here. And the nice thing about the task area is if you don't get to it, let's say I need to get the new driver license number for Randy. I didn't get to it today or tomorrow. It'll always keep moving with me until I get to it. When I get to it, same thing, hit the mark done. System is going to ask me again, what happened here? Did I get in contact, did not get in contact with that client? So we say case closed, got the information, put in any notes, and hit finish. Once we hit finish, that task will disappear from our section. Now again, going back here to Phil Anderson, we have his calendar right here. So if a staff member answers the phone, wants to see what Phil's calendar looks like, maybe we want to add a new appointment for him. We know that this is connected through the Exchange, so this calendar is up to date all the time. We'll be able to go in and click on the right date and time, set up an appointment for him, and then put in any description, again, same way that we did it on my calendar. So this will get synced up back to his phone in Outlook. Now, let's jump into our mobile device. So anytime that you're going to be using SmartOffice through your tablet, your smartphone, you'll be logging into our SmartOffice Anywhere. It is an app that is free. It's available on the Google Play or the App Store. So basically, let's log in here. The nice thing about the app is it gives you pretty much about 90% capability of what SmartOffice Pro does. What I like about it is it's actually HTML5, and it goes and adjusts to what screen you're using. So I have it on my iPad right now, so I have kind of a good size and good real estate, so it gives me more options. If I'm using it on my phone, it'll give you a smaller size, but it always goes in and adjust to the proper size of unit that you're using. Now what we see here on my dashboard is my calendar, my tasks here, and my recent contacts. So let's go back to Joe Ackerman, since we're always going back to his profile. So we can see all his personal information again from here. We can add any notes if we need to on the fly on the SmartPad note, even view the ones that we've done before. What I like about the SmartPad note is you'll be able to go in and add notes, whether you're driving or just sitting. You can type it in, or you can actually go in and have that dictated. So by using the Google Voice or Siri or any other voice recording system, we'll be able to go in and type in that information. So you dictate the note, it'll type it into the SmartPad area. Activities, we can view them, we can access them, add new ones. Policies, same thing, we can see all the policies that we have, add new ones on the fly. And then the investments, accounts, and positions, we'll be able to view them. We've limited this to only a view mode. We cannot make any changes to them on the app, just to kind of keep it on the simple side. And opportunities, our workflows, we'll be able to track them. We'll be able to add new ones, move the client from the stages. And the documents, we'll be able to see all the uploaded documents. So if that document that we've uploaded from Laser App that we want to access, we can go in and click on it. It'll open it. We can download it to our mobile device to view it later on if we need to. Dynamic reports, we can access them all from the app, so you'll be able to view all of them. You cannot run new ones, but you can view all the dynamic reports that you've created. Now, what makes our app even better than all the other apps available out there for other CRMs is we'll be able to go into our integrations directly from the SmartOffice anywhere. So whether we're on the road or on the computer, we can go in and then go through our integration. So again, Laser App Anywhere, we'll be able to access it on the fly. So same thing, I went from Joe Ackerman's profile inside of my SmartOffice Anywhere to Joe Ackerman's profile inside of Laser App. So all that data, again, like I said before, will get pushed over. There's about 200 fields that get pushed over to from SmartOffice to Laser App, and then we can give you a list of all the different fields that come over from there. So from there, this ends my section of the demo. So I'll be giving the controls over to Robert, which will continue with the integration from Laser App.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody. This is Robert Powell from Laser App Software. I'm going to talk you through here now that we've got all of this client information directly from SmartOffice. So we're going to talk through now what we can do with this information in Laser App to pre-populate all of your electronic paperwork. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to pick out some forms, and then we're going to see how those forms work. So you notice at the top of the screen we've got John Doe as our current client. So we're going to leverage all of John Doe's information to pre-populate this paperwork. So for starters here, I'm just going to pick out some forms to use. So we'll go ahead and pick out some securities forms, some American funds documents, and we'll just pick out some basic 403B paperwork here as well. And then in addition to that, I want to go ahead and pull up just our sample form to show you a little bit more about what we can do within the forms themselves. Okay, so now I've got 5 different forms loaded. You can see on the right-hand side of the screen I've got 5 forms in my queue, and I'm ready to launch those forms with John Doe's client information. And you can see here immediately all of John Doe's basic customer information is going to automatically pre-populate this form. And once again, the point here is I haven't really typed in anything yet. I've taken this data directly from SmartOffice and passed it into this series of documents that have just opened in Laser App Anywhere. Now, as I scroll down the screen, you can see all of John Doe's basic information pre-populates the forms. Because this is a beneficiary designation form as well, I can choose additional information to go on this form. So maybe I need to insert more beneficiaries, more information, and so forth. I can simply click the insert button on the left-hand side of the screen, and this will pre-populate more information on the form. You'll notice, too, that I can tab between pages at the top of the screen. So this is a 3-page document. I can click on page 2, and it will show me everything I need to do on page 2. And once again, I've got those insert buttons to refer back to that information to pre-populate with John Doe's client data. I'm going to pull up our sample form to show a little bit more functionality here as well. So you'll notice first thing on the sample form, I've got some yellow colored fields as opposed to those aqua colored fields. And those yellow fields are required fields. What these do is these tell the user that more information needs to go in this specific document. Now the nice thing here as well is in addition to the individual registration type, I can alter the registration type depending on what this specific form allows. Now in this case this is a joint, or I can set this up as a joint form, so you can see both John and Jane Doe's information will pre-populate this document. And subsequently all of these yellow fields are required fields on the form. You notice too that when I delete the date of birth that's automatically inserted in there, this specific form has additional intelligence. We call this forms intelligence or forms logic. And what this does is this helps you, the user, fill out exactly what needs to be pre-populated on this form. So this tells me not only that I need date of birth populating this field, but what the correct format is for this specific company. So for instance, if you were filling out an American Funds document, American Funds forms may require certain things in a specific format, but another fund company or insurance carrier or broker-dealer form may have different requirements. So all those requirements are put into the forms by the form author, so that way you don't have to try and figure out what the right answer is. The form will guide you through that process. And you'll notice that this form has a whole lot of insert buttons and additional fields to pre-populate additional information on, depending on the need of that specific form. Now what you may notice too here down at the top of the screen, I've got a little e-sign icon there. And these e-sign icons will appear all throughout the document. So we're going to head and fast forward here to page 3. And you'll notice I've got a lot more e-sign fields on this, more e-sign fields on this document. And what this does is this tells me, the end user, that this form is an electronically signable document. So I can go in here, and if I work with an e-sign provider, not only can I pre-populate these forms electronically, but I can sign them electronically. And LaserApp works with all the leading industry e-sign providers, so DocuSign, Signex, Solanus, and EchoSign. And you'll notice here that this says that the signer has already been assigned. So because John Doe populated this form, John Doe is now the primary client. And because we said this was a joint application, Jane Doe's information is going, or Jane Doe is going to be the secondary signer, and then the rep or the advisor for the specific document or the specific transaction is also going to be pre-assigned. So once again, I didn't have to type any of this in. LaserApp figured all of this out for me based on the fact that John Doe was my primary signer or primary client. John Doe is also going to be my primary signer. So once I've gone through this form, I've got a few different options. One of my options there was to electronically sign that document. I can also print forms, so we never want to stop the business from moving forward. So at any point in time, you can stop and you can hit print preview, and it'll render this format as a flattened PDF. So that way you can print the document or save out that flattened PDF. You can also come up here in the right-hand corner and you can save this form out, or all of these forms out, as a work in progress. So that's a nice thing about LaserApp is by saving this form as a work in progress, you can come back in and make modifications later. So let's say, for instance, you have a client coming in later today, you want to start the paperwork now, save it out as that work in progress. That's exactly what this feature allows you to do. You can also take it a step further. In LaserApp, you can share works in progress. So for instance, let's say you have an office scenario where you have an assistant and an advisor, or an assistant and multiple advisors, or multiple assistants and multiple advisors. What the software allows you to do is save a form out, or this packet of forms as a work in progress, and then share this with other people in the office. So the assistant can start the work and then the advisor can finish it. So it's really built around how offices work in real life. Okay? So these are just some of the basic functions around how I can pre-populate these documents, how I can fill this paperwork out as quickly as possible. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a step back from how we interact with the form, how you use it to make your life easier, and let's look at how we actually got here. How did we get to choose these specific forms from the library? So taking a step back, we're now looking at the main screen here, and so the LaserApp library is presently about 35,000 forms. Those forms are across all different product types. So that's mutual funds, all types of securities, alternative investments, broker-dealer forms, insurance, annuity products, clearing firm, custodian. We even have custom forms in LaserApp. So if you want to add your own forms to the library, you can do that as well. So we've got this massive library of about 35,000 forms, and they are updated constantly. So we update and upload hundreds of forms every single day, because that's what the value that LaserApp provides, is we make sure that those forms are current. But not only do we make sure that they're current, we're setting it up so that way those forms pre-fill with existing customer data. So in this case, you can take that data right from SmartOffice and push it directly into whatever documents are selected. So you, as the end user of Laser App Anywhere, you get to come in here and you get to decide what forms you need to fill out. And there's a few different ways you can do that. So your first option is to really choose from the list. In that forms list, you really just pick your business channel that you want to fill out forms for. So am I setting up an annuity? Am I filling out broker-dealer paperwork, securities? Which types of forms do I need to fill out? And this list will differ based upon your administrator. So, for instance, if you're affiliated with a broker-dealer or a BGA, and let's say that broker-dealer only has selling agreements with specific companies, then you will only see those companies in your list rather than seeing all 35,000 forms. Maybe your list will only include 100 carriers, and those 100 carriers may represent 5,000 forms, something to that effect. So the bottom line is your list will typically be a much smaller, much more appropriate list of forms rather than the entire library. But once you have access to those forms, then option A is to really just choose from the list. And as you pick forms from this list, you can look at the right-hand side of the screen and see that those forms populate into the queue. In addition to picking forms from a list, you can also use forms groups. Now, there's two types of forms groups in Laser App. There are forms groups that are created by your administrator. So if your broker-dealer or your agency has created forms kits for you, you'll have access to those groups. We call those published groups. You also have access to your own personal forms groups. So you can create groups that are specific to your practice. So the nice thing is any of these groups that get created, if at any point in time a form becomes updated or becomes out of date in that group, it will automatically get updated in the background for you. So if you have a group, if you've created, let's say, in this case, I have an American Funds 403B group. If form number 3 becomes out of date, Laser App will automatically update form number 3 in the background, so that way, when next time you open it, you will have all current forms within that group. You don't have to worry about forms being out of date within the platform. So it's really nice not to have to worry about those documents becoming out of date, as people tend to kind of save forms locally to their desktop, and then who knows when forms become out of date. So in addition to picking out forms from a group or from the list, Laser App also has an advanced form selection. So you see this filter here at the top. We have a whole series of filters for every single product channel that there is. And so each fund company, each insurance company, each product provider period can tag their forms with a series of attributes that really makes it a lot easier for you, the user, to find exactly what forms you need. So when you're choosing American Funds forms, it may not really be necessary because these forms are 403B forms. It's pretty straightforward. These are the forms I need to have access to. But let's say you needed to fill out a life insurance policy for the state of California for Banner Life. It might be more challenging because you may have half a dozen required forms and then an additional 10 forms that may be optional depending on what the client's needs are. So the advanced forms filter within the software helps you drill down to exactly what forms you need as quickly as possible. Okay, so at a high level, just to kind of recap here, so within Laser App, you're looking at Laser App Anywhere. This is our web-based product. It's pure HTML, just like SmartOffice is. And so what we've done is we've taken John Doe's client information. Once we had that information, we picked out exactly what forms we needed, whether it was from a list, from a group we created, or from a group that our broker-dealer created for us. Once we had the forms we needed, we went right into those documents, and then we could fill out those documents really kind of one by one, even though they were relatively pre-populated with that existing customer information. And then when we were all done with those documents, we could save those out as a work in progress. We could save them permanently or print them, or we could electronically sign them and send them downstream to the next party in the process. So at a high level, guys, that's what Laser App does, how it is, and thank you for your time today.